course, it's really irresponsible to be projecting these figures and assuming them to be the truth, but it also has a real implication on our teachers and our learners. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, sure. So assessments send strong signals to students, to teachers, to principals, and to parents about what constitutes acceptable performance. So in the ANAs, they talk about having 50% or more as being the measure of acceptable achievement. But there's absolutely no legitimate reason why that particular mark on those particular tests represents acceptable achievement as per the curriculum. Again, that's possible if you employ certain psychometric techniques, match it to the curriculum outcomes, and do those sorts of analyses. That's not being done with the ANAs. So in essence, we're sending erroneous signals, false signals, to teachers and to students about what constitutes acceptable performance, and also that there are improvements over time. So one of the things that the ANAs seem to be showing, inverted commas seen, is that things are improving in grades 1 to 3, grades 4 and 5, and then things start deteriorating strongly as you get to grade 9. And everyone knows this, the new grade 9 maths average was 10%. This was the big shock, and it went down from 14% last year. But those changes we don't think actually happened. They don't change such dramatic changes from year to year, but they also just lead to false conclusions. So if you've got relatively high marks in grades 1 to 3 and then very low marks in grade 9, you think that the problem with grade 9 is actually just before grade 9, say grade 6, 7 and 8, which is what the minister has said, and we need big interventions in those phases. Meanwhile, what all the research in South Africa is showing is that South Africa acquired debilitating learning deficits, gaps in their knowledge, weak foundations in grades 1, 2 and 3, and that is the root cause of underperformance in later years. So it's not that we should be intervening just before grade 9 because the problem is in grade 9. The problem is actually in grade 1, 2 and 3, but it's been clouded by the way that ANAs are set in the foundation phase in the early grades, and also the way that they are administered. So that's why it's very, very misleading. One, it sends false signals to teachers and students about improvements or acceptable achievement. And also, two, that it gives the wrong conclusion that the problem is higher up in the system. Meanwhile, everything we know points to the bottom of the system and the lack of acquiring these foundational skills.